Yo peeps, welcome back to another update here. Well, we didn't play a huge amount over the weekend, but the progress is in the right direction, sort of, although we've had a bit of a downswing here, as you can see. Coming down here, not so nice. I think the last time the update we were about 80 bucks down, 85, we're now 57. We did get it to about 25 bucks down overall. You can see here, where is it here? About 29, yeah, 29-ish, yeah, 23 actually. So, but a little bit of a downswing in the last couple of sessions. I mean, it's just, from the winning part, it's not huge. We lost $2 there. We only won $4 there. But I'm going to play through a couple of hands. So as per usual with these updates, we'll go through two or three of the big winners, two or three of the big losers here. I'm going to start with this little session here, which ended up only $4 up. It should have been, to be honest with you, that should have been two or three buy-ins up, and it was just pretty sick. How some of it went over these last two sessions. But let me show you the biggest losing hand here of the session, and I'll play this one out for you. Hang on. Here we go. So we got a pair of kings in the blinds. You notice how we're getting all these big hands in the blinds, man? Bloody pain in the ass sometimes playing out of position, but hey. So it's blind v blind, pair of kings. So raise it up. I get three bat by a very active player. He's pretty keen heads up. I got notes on him, so he's pretty keen to play here. So obviously against this type of person, I'm more than happy to 4-bet here. I mean, I can flat as well, but he's so active with that big stack. He's gonna see a flop here. He's looking at my $7.40 and he thinks I'll play you in position, which is fine. So in this spot, no issue here with the play, and he just jams on me. Well, I'm thinking, well, on you go, man. If he's got an underpay to the kings, it's 80-20 to me. If he's got an ace-king, ace-queen, it's what, 70-30, roughly. So there's no way, heads up, you're ever folding this. So it's a pretty straightforward, in it goes. Flop comes 7, 8, 8, clubs. I have no clubs. Ace on the turn, which is not good, obviously. Diamond on the river. And I lose it. But we run this twice, because we have run it twice it up because of all the crappy luck we have. And this obviously person's got it set up as well. So, next run here is ace again, queen, and guess what he's got? Yeah, man, ace king. So he gets a one-outer on the second run with ace king off. Now, what are the odds that I lose that twice when an ace comes on the first run? I mean, come on, PokerStars. Let's stop ripping the arse of the bear here. So that was a pretty gross one there, I have to say, in that session. So not happy with that at all, as I'm sure you can imagine. So, yeah, again, man, taking the hits. This hand I've picked here specifically because it was from the live stream, and I had a few people obviously watching this. And Rootsy Baby said this is a snap call instantly. But the thing is with Zoom is, what would be a snap call in a lot of cash games, in Zoom, it's not always a snap call, simply because of the way the hand ranges come out, etc., and what people play. So we're going to raise here out in the country, very active player. I got King 10 suited in the small blind. This is not great, but against an active player, this hand against his range generally holds up okay. Now, obviously, I'm going to be the pre-flop aggressor here. And, in most cases, when I'm coming from the blinds 3-betting, probably about 70-80% of the time, I have got a bloody good hand. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I will mix it up, as you can see I am doing it here, because if it's only big hands you show to these people, then you're never going to get any action. So when you do mix it up 20-30% of the time, say 20 or so is fair enough, then you will get action. So my opponent elects to call here. Okay, with the King 10 suited, and it comes King 4-4, so technically that should be a pretty good flop for me. Technically, yeah. So I go on for a small C-bet, and he calls. It's King 4-4. The 8 on the turn here. So I now like to slow it right down here. There's $4 in the middle. I've got 46. He's got 8. If you think about it from his perspective, okay, I've 3-bet. I've then C-bet. He floats me. He can float me with any pair. All right. Ace 4, is it possible he's got ace 4? Of course it's always possible in this game. Is it possible he's got a bigger king than me? Of course it is. Could he be playing a big hand like aces and queens, and he's, maybe just, we'll say with queens or jacks, he's just like taking a float and then see what happens on the turn with aces. He's obviously doesn't want to punt it. He wants to get max out here. So there's lots of options here in his range just now. So checking here I don't think's bad. We've done the C-bet. We've got a bet out of him. We check it. No spade comes on the turn, so improvements for our hand very limited. Really, we're looking at a king or possibly a 10 here. So out of position, he then bets half the pot, which is fair enough as a diamond draw. I don't really want to check raise here. I don't think that was wise because what's going to call me that I beat? Do you know what I'm saying? So you know, $2 in there, pot's up to 6. So we call it off, obviously. And then it goes to the river. 9 looks pretty safe here. So again, we check it. Trying to get a cheap showdown here because I got, you know, obviously I got the money. He's got $6 here. And at the same time, if he does go for it, you know, if he's got things like queens or jacks or something like that and he's trying to bluff me off here, then, you know, he could go for his whole stack of 6-14. So again, I got no issue with the play here, looking at this one again here. And then he just pumps it all in. And with the speed of his play on turn and river, and I do remember this hand, I tanked for ages on this one, and I know Rootsy Baby was saying, man, this is a snap call, just get it in there, you know what I mean? And I'm like, and my gut's telling me at the same time, this is shit, man. This is shit. He's you know, and I did think he got me here, you know what I mean? I actually do think he's got me, but can I really fold this in this position? Well, of course you can, but it's like, oh, I so don't want to call this off, but I really probably have to. Well, I don't have to if I knew what his hand was exactly, and I know I'm beat, then we fold off. But it's one of those Pucaments positions where, you know, you've made a play from the blinds, you've hit a piece of it, you're not sure if you're ahead, and your opponent just barrels, and it's like, this is gross. Now, he is an active player, he's more than capable of doing this with a big range. And it's like, well, if you've got it, you got it, good on you. So we reluctantly, and it was a very reluctant call, I can assure you, in the stream. And he turns over the premium of hands that you'd ever have in that spot, which is, you know, like ace king. And that's just like, shite, man. Shite. So some people will say that's poker. I get it, but it was just like gross. So I don't always believe it's an easy snap call in these spots. Some people say, well, that's just the way it goes, you just have to play it. But when you see somebody barrel and barrel again after calling your 3-bet on a paired board like that, you know, alarm bells are going off. And you know, I was close to folding it, and then in the end I'm like, oh, can I really fold this? And it was like a coin. Toss a coin in. Do I call? Don't I? And I was a reluctant call, I hasten to add. You know, a lot of the bare senses were saying, no, you beat here. But hey, man, just the way it goes. And last hand here in the losing summary here with this round up here. We got kings here under the gun. Ooh, nice. Raise. We get a call. Fold, and it goes 3-3-2. Technically, that should be good for me. Backdoor, second up flush draw, little pair there. So we get a check, we bet, we get a call, and a fold. So we get one out, which is good. Turn comes, 8 of spades, and I'm like, not ideal. I mean, I do have the second up flush draw, but what floats on the flop there? Do you know what I mean? So a little reluctant, but we barrel again. We get a little click back here, and it's like shite. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, well, I can't fold it now after that there. I mean, I could have checked the turn, I suppose. But the spade insurance encouraged me, obviously. It's now goes 6, and I check, and he puts 4 in there. And I'm like, this is just shit. It's just shit. And again, there's a huge argument for folding here in this position. But you know, you're never going to find anything out if you don't at least call some of these down. You got to keep them honest. So I make the call, which is ropey, we know, and he turns over ace jack, which is pretty puke, I have to say. So you know, he really gets technically probably one of the better flops he could ask for, and you know, 8 outs on the flush. 3 on the ace, so he's got 11 outs for the float, which is fair enough, and just gets there. Pishy, man, pishy. So that cost us about $7, and again, that's one of those bollocks positions. But there you go. So that's the losing hands I'll bring you for the sessions that we played. Let's have a look at a couple of winning ones. Let's try and finish on a high note, huh? Nice little hand here. 9-10 suited. I believe I'm on the button. I am. Let me just expand this for you. Sorry, people. Here we go. Move these out of the way. Like so. And let's play this puppy out. Alright, so we're on the button. We raise standard. We get 3-bet here. 120. He's got 12 bucks behind. I'm in position. I am never folding this with those stack sizes. So auto call, obviously. So we call it off, and we get a gutter on the flop there. Not ideal, 250, but we have position as well. And regardless of my hand, even if I covered my hand up, say if I was blind here, okay? With these stack sizes, I will float a lot of flops to pay people in position in this spot, regardless of my hand, just to basically test them, all right, to see are you, and that's with the goods and without the goods. So he puts in a small c-bet. Fine, we call it off. Gin on the turn. Woohoo! Fist pumping to piggyback. 490 in the middle. He barrels again. Simple, straightforward call here. We're going to let him barrel all the way. Turn comes a 4. We have the nuts. And he elects to pump it all in. We call him off, which is fine. And lo and behold, he had ace queen. So he had a genuine hand. But again, if you look at hands like 9, 10 suited and smaller suited connectors like 6, 7, 7, 8, etc., these play really well against premium hands like ace king, ace queen, etc. when you're in position. Now, obviously, he caught that, all right? And then that in turn encouraged him to barrel. But he could easily fire 2 barrels there with complete overcards there. And, me testing him, he may well give it up on the river. Or even give it up on the turn, and it gives me a chance to snuffle stacks off people or pots off people in such spots. But that's a nice one, so we'll take that. Thank you. Here we go. Next hand in the winning run. Fist pumping to piggyback. We got a pair of 10s. We got limp under the gun, so we raised it up. And I have noticed, certainly in the last 2 weeks, a lot more people limping from under the gun mid position these days with various hands. Now, don't get me wrong, I've seen some of them try the old trap with the ace king and the aces. You raise them up, they then, pump it back at you, and you think, yeah, all right. Now, some of them are doing it with genuine hands, some of them are doing it with complete crap. So it is a little bit dicey down at this level. But we want to try and get to the button and isolate this little limper here. But we get a call on the button here, and it's like, oh, okay. And then the big blind comes in, which really should encourage a limper to come, but he doesn't, which is ridiculous. So this particular individual here wants taken out and absolutely spanking. I mean, we're talking old-fashioned corporal punishment spanking here with a cane or a slipper, because that is just ridiculous. So Hubika, if you do get to watch this video, go spank yourself, man. Right? This is nonsense that you can't complete with 760 behind when you've actually limped, raise, call, and you don't complete there. Any 2 cards, even 7 deuce, you have to call that now after making that ridiculous limp. But he doesn't do it. He folds. So we go 3-way. Fair enough. Boom. Now that's a draw heavy board. Obviously, we've got the flush, which is great. But, king, queen can be a bit of a pain in the ass. Flush draw can be a pain in the ass. So it's one of those boards where, okay. So we bet out 90 here. And it's a little small, actually, when I look at this one again with 2 people in the hand. But I'm thinking this guy in the button here might make a move on that type of board. 90 doesn't look super strong. You'd expect a little bit more with a top premium hand. So I could get a little bit of action here on the flop. I only get a caller, and Swisshawk backs off. 5 is on the turn of spades. So now we got a spade draw, we got a heart draw, and we potentially have an open ender here. So it's 345, and again, this is what makes my flop bet a little too small 3-way there, is that I can't really pump it as hard as I'd like. Do you know what I'm saying? So in this situation, I thought long and hard, and I thought, he's on a draw of various formats. I reckon I could possibly get him to call this off, right, with an overjam. So if he's got, for example, king-queen with the flush draw, then he's getting it in, okay? If he's got 10-jack, unlikely because I've got 2 10s. But if he's got that, he's probably getting it in. If he's got ace-jack, this type of player, I reckon he's getting it in here. So there's quite a few combinations here which could where he could decide just to gamble with 2 flush draw options out there as well. He could go in. If he's got a set 6s, he's in. Obviously, if he's got a set of jacks, and that's just, ka-ching for him. So I don't do this often, but in this particular position, I thought, well, I reckon I'm ahead here, but I reckon he's got a draw here of some format. Um, and if he's got, the ace jack, then these tuna stakes, these guys are happy to call off here. So I just pump it in here. Um, and then he snaps me off, and it was like, you know, thumb and four fingers in about 0.23 seconds. He couldn't help himself in there like a praying mantis. So, boom, we get to the river, and it's like heart, and like, no, no heart. You know, um, and we run it twice, and then hard again, and I'm like, no, like that. But obviously, we know what he's got. He's got king queen. So king queen was one of the hands that could easily call that off. And if you think about it, king queen suited with the open ender, and obviously the flush draw second nuts. He's just looking at that, going, you know what I mean? It'd be interesting actually to see what the odds were. Let me just see what that is on the turn actually. Yeah, 70-30 to me at this point. Okay, so yeah, fair enough. As I say, I don't mind the play. Actually, it's not something I do very often, but in this spot, I thought there was a good chance that I would get it in good, and I could get called. And you don't have to be right many times in that spot to make that a profitable play. So that was tasty, man, tasty. Okay, last one of the session, and then we'll recap on the graph, and then we'll see you on when we stream next Monday, which is the 23rd at 8 o'clock UK time. Please come and join. Make sure you write something in the chat box, because when you do and you keep your chat active, I'm using Nightbot to select people for our wheel spins. Yeah, man, we got bonuses and goodies to give away. We run the wheel at least 3 times during the session, all being well, and I'm going to bung an extra $10 of my own money, man, my own money. I'm going to put that onto the top prize, which is now up to $60. Tasty, man. And every week we're going to look to try and bump that up. Obviously, with the donations, if we can get people to put a little bit of money in the Bear Piggy Bank, I will add that percentage of that every week into the jackpot prize until somebody wins it. Okay, but there's lots of other stuff in there as well, which is cool, like Crates of Stella, stuff like that. So tasty, man, tasty. So here we go. Let's on the last hand. Let's see what happened with Bear's pair of sevens. So we raise under the gun with a pair of sevens. Fine. We get a caller. We get another caller. Dung, 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 dung. And it comes 9 queen, queen. Now this is not ideal. Out of position to 2 people with queen, queen, 9. There's 105 in the middle. I elect to do a standard C bet here. It's, one of those ones whereby I get raised in that spot. I'm out of here. You know what I mean? At the same time, I might be able to take it down. If I don't bet here, then I'm giving the initiative over to the other 2. It's one of those ones where you might not do it all the time. But in this particular situation, I like to put the C bet in, okay? We get 1 call. We get the other 1 folding. So that's pretty good. We get 1 out and 1 caller. So we think, okay, queen 9-9. If he's got 9s, then, good on him. If he's got a queen, then we need to improve here rapid. If he's got a flush draw, then fair enough. Anyway, boom, 7 on the turn. Basically means I cannot go anywhere with this hand now. Okay, we have filled up a miracle 7. So if he's got a flush draw, great, as long as it's not a nut flush draw. If he's got a set of 9s with the queens, then I'm shafted. And if he's got a queen, like king queen, jack queen, ace queen, these are all very possible. Then obviously the cards on the river I don't want to see. I don't want to see things like a jack, a king, or an ace. These are cards I really want to avoid. And obviously avoiding a 9 would be nice too. So let's have a look. Anyway, so we carry on with our betting, 150, and he now elects to raise it up. And I'm like, well, all right, fair enough, mate. Got quad queens, got 3 9s, it's all yours. But in this spot, it's autoplay, obviously. So, pa-pumph, in it goes, standard, bites me off. Okay, 7 on the river, and we quad it up, man. We fist pump to the piggy bank, and it's like, unless you got quad queens, it's mine, baby, it's mine. So, tasty, and what does he turn over? He turns over ace queen. So he slowed it, he took the card on the flop with a view to making a move on the turn, and he's just unlucky that I improved magnificently on the turn there. So, we were ahead pre-flop, remember that? Yes, he smashes the flop, I smash the turn. Blah, blah, blah. Still money in Bear's piggy bank, so we'll take that one. Thank you very much. So let's get to the graph. So I think the last time we did an update, we were about 85 down in real money. Remember, that is not accurate. It should now actually be 3 buy-ins off that minus. Right, not 2, 3, because Star keeps crashing on me, and when it crashes, it eliminates the hand that's running at that time. And I had a $10 win hand the other day, which is a real bitch. All right, so you bank $30 on here, then you know we're up here, in this bracket of being about $80 up. And we're only probably about 25, 27 down. But hey, man, it's Bear. Let's just play. We're not with a $20 handicap like I said in the last video. Let's just play with a $30 handicap. I mean, we're that good. We can afford to go with 3 buy-ins. Wonder what odds you get on that on bloody Willie Hill or Ladbrokes, huh? Anyway, peeps, that's it. We're going to call that update finished, done. Hope you enjoy it. Please come and join us at the next stream video. As I said, that's on the 23rd, which is a Monday, 8 o'clock UK time. Lots of goodies to give away and a little bit of action. And we've improved the layout of the Twitch. So I managed to get some tweaks done on that, so it's even better now, which is pretty cool. So on that note, take care, enjoy, have fun at the tables. Please don't lose money, guys. You know, I'm on your side. And we need your positive energy on Monday, so come and join us. Take care now. Bye.